Testing, testing. Oh, okay.
Tim Black. Tim Black. Tim Black.
Maybe not.
Tim Black.
Maybe not.
True. Funny. Tim Black. I am TimBlack.com. Tim Black.
Oh, I'm not getting anything. There we go. All right. Hey, people, how you doing? I hope everybody can hear me, man. I've been trying to make some adjustments on the sound. Hope that it's sufficient. What's going on, people on Facebook? How y'all doing, Facebook? Looks like it's playing. Can never be too sure with technology, yo. What's going on, Facebook people? Y'all doing good? Good. Let's break out my phone here, man. What I'm going to do, well, on my bad, Periscope people. Is Periscope in the house tonight? Got Periscope people? Hope so. Just going to have to, we have to go in the honor system because I can't tell right now. Hope Periscope's running. Is YouTube running in the house? We got some green. What up, YouTube? Give it up for YouTube. Hope y'all doing all right out there, man. All my peoples. So what I'm doing right now, let me get out of this app. Out of that one. Close everything. Close it all down, Tim. Close it all down. So tonight, frankly, guys, I was like, okay, I'm not sure where to go tonight. I had a guest kind of lined up, but it kind of fell through due to scheduling. So I'm like, okay, what could we do to be a little bit different tonight? And I was talking to Momo Pineno, man. It's like, Momo, man, I really don't have don't know what to talk about tonight. And I don't want to just get on here and just talk on these subjects. So Momo's like, yo, just do a Q&A, you know? I was like, well, damn it, Momo, that's a good idea. You know? Really, I mean, that's an excellent idea because I've never done a Q&A. I did a Ask Anything on Reddit last year, which was really cool. But this is different. And I can't find this. I can't find the Facebook stream. Why can't I see the Facebook live stream? All right, so whatever, guys. So how this works is you ask questions and I'm going to try to answer them. And they look, I prefer they not really be about politics. They just be kind of general, you know, because like I'm not, you know, I mean, I want to make it fun too. I don't want to just be like, Tim, what do you think of Kamala Harris? I mean, I guess that's a question you can ask, but I just want to keep the door open to ask stuff that's not like, what do you think about Trump? You know what I mean? Because I do that in videos all day, every day. So with that being said, guys, let's go ahead and try to, just play it by ear. We could do that, play it by ear a little bit, and just ask questions, and I'll try to answer them, and just be honest and just tell you what I think about whatever it is. What I'm trying to do, here we go, I got to it now. Let me see if I can, here we go. So now I've got the Facebook app up, I got my YouTube up, and then I guess I'm going to have to try to, I'll have to try to jump into Periscope at some point. All right. So I see some people out there in Facebook world. Tim, Brian Leon says, Tim, do you smoke weed? Sometimes. Man, I'm such a lightweight, Brian. I'm such a lightweight. I live very close to D.C., so it's legal in D.C. So, But no, man, sometimes I do smoke weed, though. You know what I mean? And I'm a lightweight. In fact, the guys over at GhostOwner.com who I met them like last year, like we started talking online or whatever. GhostOwner.com is the website. It's like one of the guys is like, man, when I come to D.C., we could smoke a bowl, man. You know? And I'm like, nah, that wouldn't be fun for me. Because you're a professional weed smoker. You're what you call a connoisseur. I'm a lightweight at it. Like, I haven't smoked weed for like 20 years, yo. I mean, really, honestly. You know what I'm saying? So, like, I was a kid when I smoked weed, like early 20s. So, me getting back into that, man, is like, and one day it just hit me like, wow, man, I don't get urine tests. And I work for myself, so anything I want to do, I could do. So to answer the question, I smoke it occasionally. I'm really not that good at it. A couple pulls, and I'm like, okay, let me leave this alone. So thank you for the question, Brian. I appreciate you, man. That's a good question. Brian said, Brian Crosby, you got another Brian over here. Brian Crosby on YouTube says, Tim, how'd you meet H.A. Goodman? Yo, dude, I'm trying to remember what it was. It was just like you bump into people on YouTube, man. I think that's what it was. Gosh, I remember the first time he came on the show, it was over a year ago, and we just talked about the news of the day type of thing. We talked about the Clinton, the primaries. We talked about the primaries, and we just clicked, and it was just fun, right? So I invited him back again. Then he went on like CNN or MSNBC, I think it was CNN, and he shouted me out. He was like, yo, Tim Black is a great progressive voice. And, I really like Tim Black or whatever. And he hit me up. He was like, Tim, I shouted you out today. It was either on RT America or it was on CNN. And I was like, what? My brother. And then, I'd shout him out in videos, and then he come back on. So H.A. Goodman and I have been friends for over a year now. We've done a number of shows together, and that's really a friend of mine. So we really have a lot of fun laughing. And I need to go to, when I go to Cali, we're going to hook up and hang out. You know what I mean? Or when he comes to D.C. Thank you for that question, Brian. I appreciate it. Facebook in the house. Okay. Christine Ale says, Tim, what do you do on during your downtime? Damn, Christine. Thank you, Christine, for the question. I love movies, right? I love them less than I used to love them because now, once you get kind of woke, it gets hard, man. Even when you got to suspend reality, and now now you know what's going on with media and how they play these games, and it screws up people's heads. Sometimes it makes it hard to even do that, to even watch movies like I used to enjoy them. But I always was a movie buff. In fact, I got a lot of inspiration out of fake movies, and that's the thing. So watching movies, music occasionally, really all I do is work, which is pretty bad. I used to go fishing, but I've been so busy, I just feel like I can't justify being out of pocket for a day on a boat, a whole day. I just feel like I'm letting people down. I'm feeling like there's one thing about this thing I'm doing, this news coverage and, these shows is every day there's new stories to tell. Every day. No day is like yesterday, and no day is like today in the news cycle and what's happening. And there's so much to talk about. Really, I'm married to this business. I'm married to speaking truth. I'm married to it. I'm married, but I'm married to that as well. So thank you, Christine, for that question. It's crazy. I need some more hobbies, frankly. I need some more hobbies. YouTube. Yo. Do you read Graham Hancock? Deborah asked me, do I read Graham Hancock? I do not. I have not heard of Graham Hancock. And I hope that's not a play on words, because that last name could mean anything. One of those. But no, I do not know Graham. Maybe I should. I don't know. Facebook. What do you think about Bernie Sanders running in 2020? Obviously, I think it would be cool, right? But they're gonna cheat this guy if they can cheat him again. They're gonna cheat him, man. They're gonna line up all the cattle around him. The point of Bernie running is to push the conversation to the left. And a lot of people don't. I think a lot of people kind of miss that point. Is that if you have a strong left, strong with policies that they can't ignore you, you will push them to the left. It's happening. And I think Bernie running will definitely necessitate them moving their asses to the left. So I appreciate that. So of course I would like Bernie to run. I don't care if he's 90. He should still run. That's how I feel about it. Thank you for the question. Thank you. Nicholas for the cookie, for the KA, for the K. YouTube. That's not a question. Somebody's like, you need to tell HA. You need to tell HA to do something. That's not a question. I don't control HA Goodman. I don't. He's like, he don't control Tim Black either. He doesn't. You know what I'm saying? So it's fair, you know? I'd watch Tim Black on the fishing boat stream. Okay. Oh, Bullshit Man's in the house. What's up, Bullshit Man? Tim, you've been at this for years and obviously suffered financially for much of it. But is it worth it in terms of job satisfaction and why? Bullshit Man with the question. With a question. Damn. Bullshit Man. That's a great question, B. Okay, so yes, I have suffered very much financially. Okay, that's true. But I thought, let me tell you something. This is something I thought of earlier today, right? House empty, right? Nobody here but me. I'm in the basement. That's where all this stuff does. I do all this stuff, right? And I thought about the fact that anything could happen today. Like I could do a great video, something, I could make a great connection on Twitter, a great connection on Facebook. And even though I miss the stability of my job that, you know, pretty much was stable for the most part, right? Which I didn't just quit it and say, screw it all. It was sort of like, you know how they have layoffs and transfers and changes. But I thought today, I said, wow, I'm very fortunate to be doing something I love to do. And it's, you know, like, it's something that excites me. You know, I get to talk to very interesting people. I get to talk about things that matter to me. And I'm fortunate to be able to do that. But is it worth it? Not if you expect CNN to come pick you up. Not if you expect MSNBC to give you a shot. And that's not what I expect. You know? Like, I don't expect anything other than what I create. Anything else is just like any opportunities that come my way, BS, I create them. Or they just happen through what I'm doing. You know what I'm saying? So I'm fortunate, bro. I'm glad to be doing what I'm doing. Nah, if you get into this for money, you're doing it for the wrong reason. But I know people, but you have to survive somehow, right? Is it worth it? Is it worth it? Damn right it's worth it, because any day could be amazing. And I didn't always have that opportunity. And I think you kind of know what I mean. If you have a day job, you just kind of want to get through the week. And I don't feel that way. No matter how hard it is, I never feel like I just want to get through the week. You know, like, let me come on Friday. I don't feel that way. I look forward to Mondays. I look forward to Tuesdays. I don't know what's going to happen on a Wednesday. It's amazing. So thank you, B. I appreciate you for that question, bro. Yeah, it's a good question. Just do it for the right reason, man. Or if not, you're going to be frustrated because you don't control how people take you or what the world thinks of what you put out. You know what I'm saying? Like, I can do something great. I thought I did great things and no response, and something I don't think is so great does very well. And I'm like, wow. So it's up to the market. Facebook. Okay. Let me scroll up. Said smoke but don't inhale. Facebook, ask questions, man. Ask questions. Shout to Tim Black and the Wolfpack. Great. I appreciate you. Can't keep up. What kind of music do you listen to? Scott Ritchie says, what kind of music do you listen to? Okay, Scott, I'm an old school hip hop guy, right? And I don't even want to say old school like that. Like, I'm not talking to the hip hop, the hippie to the, but you know, like 90s, late 80s, mid-late 80s. That was me. I think Bill Burr said it best whatever music, or was it Dave Chappelle? I get those two mixed up sometimes, man, because I love both of those comedians. Give it up for Dave Chappelle and Bill Burr. Love those guys. I would love to, and look, and that's one of my dreams, to have one of those guys on my show one day. Kind of music, the music that you grew up with is probably the music that you're going to love for the rest of your life. You know, so when I was growing up, it was hip hop, it was Nas, it was Biggie, it was Tupac, Wu-Tang, you know, there came a neo-soul period as well with like, you know, Lauryn Hill, the Fugees, Jill Scott, you know, like that groove, you know, so that's me. And actually, I used to be, and I also love older music too. Don't get me wrong, I like older music too. Back in the day, I used to collect music. But time is the problem, you know? When you work for yourself and you grinding, anytime you spend away, you kind of feel guilty about, unless you've achieved everything. And I'm kind of learning now that, you know, that's elusive. It's never going to happen. So I need to take more time to enjoy stuff. You know what I'm saying? So thank you for the question. Hip hop, R&B, neo soul, old school too. I'll listen to that. And that's me. That's your man, Tim Black. Appreciate it. YouTube peoples. Somebody says that they would watch me doing a fishing boat stream. Uncle Ron, go fishing and do a video. You know what? You're right. I got to have somebody with me to hold the camera. You know? I try to get my kids involved in fishing. My oldest son, he went, you know, I started fishing like 7 years ago. And I fished hard for like 5 years. Gosh, 5 years? God. Became pretty good at it. You know, I could catch fish. But my son wasn't really that into it. My youngest son, who's now 8, he ain't really into it. At least, you know what, I haven't even really taken him. But I need somebody to do some camera work. And as you know, fishing can be boring if you're on a bank or a river. It can be boring till you catch something. I like fishing off boats are the best fishing for me, but I like fishing at beaches. You know, I like casting out far. You know what I mean? I got some big rods like 10 feet. I'm getting way off subject, but yeah, I feel you, man. And if I can get somebody to film it, I'll do it. I'm bored after we did the eclipse. Okay. Oh, who's this? Midget B. Midget B. She just, okay, Midget B just gave me $2. Thank you, Midget B, for doing the super chat. I appreciate you. And Midget B asked, did you read that Dave Weigel article? Yes, I read the Dave Weigel article. And you know what? It was better than I thought. It was, don't get me wrong, like it was a little condescending. He missed some vital points that were in WikiLeaks that I think kind of shows, kind of boasts us why we believe the DNC, you know, defrauded millions of people through their antics. But actually, I think he treated us decently. I was just glad he covered it. Like HA and I kind of agree on this point, which is Washington Post is like it's substantial enough where years from now people will be able to search for it and find it. And regardless of what people think, because there's a lot of infighting, people saying these people aren't progressive enough, these people don't have the right ideals, it will stand the test of time, at least for a moment. There are people in the establishment that recognize that we were on this side of the equation. And that to me matters. It matters to me that for the record, I supported the Becks. I supported Nico. I'm holding the DNC accountable in a way that's still, it's not mainstream, but it's where people know it, who are mainstream. They know where I stand on the DNC. Okay, so that's important to me because I am holding them accountable. That's all true. And I do believe that the independent media, people in independent media should have covered the DNC fraud lawsuit and should cover it going forward. And I believe reform in the Democratic Party is important. And I don't understand why more people didn't cover it. And I'm glad I did, and I'm glad to be on record as doing so. So that's important. So yeah, I read that article. Dave Wiggle, he has my respect for the fact that he wrote about it. It was not a hit piece. You're never going to agree with everything someone writes, okay? But it was not a hit piece, and I've had those written about me before, and so has H.A. Goodman, and so have the Becks. This was not a hit piece. So I appreciate that. So give that up for Dave Weagle from that point, and give it up to Midget B. Great question. Yeah, man. Look, I was in the Boston Globe last week. This week I'm in the Washington Post. So that's amazing. That wouldn't have happened if I was working with computers or something, like I was doing. So pretty cool. No money in it, but it's cool though, right? You know what I mean? So yeah, as long as I can stay indoors, we'd be okay. It's such a lovely day. How bad was the floods in Houston? Wow. This question is by Brian Volk. Brian, man. Brian. It's a lot of Brians today. That's my third Brian. Give it up for the Brians in the house. Give it up for Brians. I'm noticing the coverage of the Houston natural disaster, right? I'm watching it and I'm like, it's amazing. The people that are banding together to try to survive, the people that are banding together to help other people. I talked about this last night, man. That's the story to me. And if I put out a tweet, I'm like, guys, I want footage from people in Houston and people in surrounding areas so I can see exactly what's going on. I don't want to rely on CNN. And if you've been on this channel, you may recall me kind of like saying, that's the direction I want to take this channel. Like work with people on the ground in different states and different countries to give news directly from those people and give them a platform and also be able to give the audience firsthand accounts of stuff. That's what I want. That's a goal. In fact, I think that's something that's so unique to what we're doing. So back to Houston, man, I think it's horrendous. It's horrendous what's going on, what happened there. And what's even more horrendous is the fact that this is in part due to climate change, in part due to the fossil fuel industry in Texas and surrounding areas. If you look into it, you'll find that part of this is man-made. Scientists agree. Whether we have people who disagree about climate change, global warming or not, like that's what scientists say. So if you talk to a person in Houston who got displaced, lost everything, yeah, they'll tell you it was horrific. And I believe them more than I believe somebody on news trying to tell me it's okay. It's not okay. So thank you for the question, Brian. And look, guys, remember to help people in Houston and the surrounding areas, donate to local organizations on the ground in those areas. That way you'd be more sure that the money will go towards what you want and less go into overhead into other things. So that's just my opinion based on whenever there's a catastrophe or natural disaster, when I look into it, when I've done my research, that was always a recommendation. Local. Go local. All right, YouTube. YouTube people's in the house. Darren Alivi says, how's Broken Carpenter? Broken Carpenter, thank you, Darren, my brother. All right, so guys, in fact, you know what? I want to say this. There have been some people who used to call into the show a couple years, right? And I know some of them were older people, right? And I know of a couple people that I know weren't feeling well. And, when people stop calling, and I don't mean the people who got upset. Like, I don't mean people who stopped calling because they got upset about something. I don't mean those people. I mean the people that I know love this show and have supported me, maybe not financially, but emotionally, you know what I'm saying? Like supported me as in watching the show, calling up to the show, and then they don't call anymore. Sometimes I get worried, I actually think about that sometimes because you get to know these people. Like when you open the phone lines, I used to open the phone lines like 3 times a week. I was just heavy on phone lines, and there'd be people that call in almost every day. And now they don't call anymore, and I'm a little concerned. But as for the broken carpenter, he's doing better. Like, at least he knows what it is, and he's being treated. And he's tweeting, so that must mean something, right? So give it up for the broken carpenter. I think he's going to be fine. I'm really pulling for him. We're all pulling for him. And I haven't talked to him on the phone, but I did talk to him via tweet and DM. So give it up for the broken carpenter. You know what I mean? It's tough, man. It's tough. Boom, 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 boom. Some great people in Facebook land. My people on Facebook. Horace Marshall says people are complaining about slavery and how they want to remove everything pertaining to it. If yes, I might have a solution for that. I don't know what, that's not a question. Do you have a lot of people complaining about slavery? Do I have a lot of people? No, I don't have a lot of people complaining about slavery. What they are complaining, well, okay. Look, we have different people that complain about a lot of different things, all right? If you're going to tell history, you should tell the whole story, not just the watered down version. In fact, Horace, you should demand that if they're going to talk about a subject, talk about the whole thing. I mean, that's what it's for, right? To educate people. So don't just celebrate the parts of history that you want to celebrate. Celebrate history. You know, if whatever, like, I think if it was done that way, like if we had okay, should we have monuments to people that were obliterated, like Black Wall Street, where these jealous white guys got pissed off because black people who were segregated built their own stuff? Do you realize the whole town of people who built their own stuff got burnt down and run out of town and had to run to like the cities just because they were doing well and people didn't like it? I mean, dude, there's so much that's not being told. And those people who were ran out of town, towns of people, this was back before, like there was a time when people didn't have deeds to homes, right? Like there was a time before that when people had land, they just had it. You find a land, you build the land, you build your house, nobody comes shoot you, that's your land, right? And then they said, well, no, we're going to take your land from you. We put some deeds down in the court that says this belongs to this guy over here. And now you no longer have a home and they just kick you out. This happened in America. And it didn't happen in 1722. Some of this shit happened in the 1900s. So Black Wall Street happened in the 1900s. But they don't hear any talk about it. So it's not just get rid of this part of history. It's like, what about, like, we should tell the stories of the people that were victims, not the people who did the victimization and then clean it up for them. Like, talk about the victims. Talk about the victims. Or if you don't want to do that, let's kill the conversation. Let's put it in a museum where people go to look at old shit. That's what I thought museums were for. I thought people had museums, you go look at old relics. That's my point on it. That's the way I feel about it. And I know that sometimes there's people who will say, it doesn't matter to them. It doesn't matter. I don't care about monuments. I care about this. You know what? That's what you think. Like, everyone has an opinion. Okay? Just because one person says, I don't need to walk around and get any exercise in my life, I don't care about that, doesn't mean they're right just because you agree with their position. Like, there's some things that just need to be done. And just because you had one person going, well, I like eating all the pizza I can and all the fried chicken I can and all the chips and beer I can, and that's why I want to live my life, it doesn't mean that's right. It's just the way that person feels. In fact, it may be the wrong way to look at things. And maybe that person doesn't have all the information. So what I don't like is when they find a black person who said, I don't care about slavery, and doesn't even realize part of the reason why his family has nothing, is that for 300 years of being here, they weren't allowed to have anything. It's one thing for life to suck for you. And I know it sucks for a lot of people. You know, it's hard, it's frustrating. You don't have options or whatever, right? But it's a different story when that was the intention. You know, when it was intentional for you to not have nothing. And there are black people and white people in the same boat. It's just black people's boat had a lot of holes in it that were put there on purpose. And that's just the system, man. I'm not talking about one guy in West Virginia with a bad attitude, or one guy in New York City with a bad attitude, or one guy in Boston somewhere using the N-word, man. We're talking about systemic, government-sanctioned, law enforcement, look the other way, situations. And that stuff needs to be remedied. So give it up for that question. I appreciate you. You too. What was that? There was something cool here. Still stealing land from Native Americans. Man, you know, okay, Native Americans. My Native American friends, my brothers and sisters, they got genocided. It's a horrible thing. I don't even know. What can you say after that? So they get the worst. They get it the worst from police brutality. And they are totally displaced, totally screwed over, man. This is horrific. I had no idea. It's like, once again, it's not something that you're going to see everywhere. In fact, in a lot of old Westerns, like when I was coming up, it wasn't taught extensively through schools. Like, where do you get your information from? I'm telling you, man, we don't tell the full story. We don't keep it real in this country. And it's all from a standpoint of whitewashing history. The Trail of Tears, the Trail of Genocide, man. And it's horrific. And I kind of had an awakening during the Dakota Access Pipeline. And I'm going to keep it real with you. Like, that really woke me up, because as I followed that, got involved in that, and spoke on it, I was able to read more and more history about Native people. It's horrific, man. If you want to really understand why none of the things that are going on is so crazy, why, you know what I'm saying? Like, you go look at our history and how we treated Native Americans, blacks, and Asians. Go look it up. And then you won't be surprised why we got a problem with the DNC. God, that's nothing compared to what we used to do. So anyway, thank you for that question. I appreciate you. Who's that? Jilly Love. Jilly Love in his house. It's crazy, man. Nicholas says he loves the Captain America shirt. Oh, Brian says, have I seen Alien Covenant? Yes, I did see that. Yes. Look, one of the few things, and thanks for the compliment, Nicholas. One of the few things that I actually did a sponsorship for, right, was this box called Tiger Stream. And like, I didn't know anything about it. All I know, if you got it, you could get stuff, you could watch stuff, you got an internet connection. Usually you need to plug it in your router, right? And it was like, Tim, you do this, we'll give you a couple $100. I was like, all right. And we'll send you a Tiger Stream. I was like, all right. So they sent me a Tiger Stream box. And using that box, I was able to watch something. But people got mad that I did this sponsorship. But I couldn't buy a box. I don't spend money like that on stuff, man. Yeah, my money doesn't. I don't spend money on buying access to Tiger Streams, you know, or whatever. So basically, I did see the movie Alien Covenant. It was a good movie. It was very entertaining. It was kind of sad, but it was a lot of action. The ending was like, I don't even want to spoil it for anybody. I suggest you see the movie. All right, see the movie legally if you can. Right? I don't want to give nobody bad advice. Don't do what I did, but enjoy it. Thank you for the question, Brian. I did not. So Bernie just gave an interview, huh? So Bernie just gave an interview. I missed it, guys. I didn't know. I didn't know, man. I was in the lab today. In fact, I still had one more video to do about the stupid cop. And they say he was joking, but it wasn't funny. He pulls over this white lady, white cop, two white cops. I see one white cop talking to the lady in the car, and he says, and she's like, I don't want to put my hands down, or I don't want to touch my phone, I don't want to move my hands. And he's like, what you worried about? We only shoot black people, right? Come on, lady, you good. You white. And it was like, oh man. So he got fired. I was gonna do a video on it, right? I'm gonna do a video on that because that's look, man, there's some things you don't joke about, man, if you're a cop. It's just horrible PR. That is just hard. Okay, say the guy's joking. That's not something you joke about. You don't joke about death when you're the person who could dispense the death. Like, I could joke about certain things, but I don't have any power to actually shoot people. Right? So what happens if he's on a job and 2 months from now, something happens and he may even be right. Maybe he's even right and he shoots a black person. Oh my God. Oh no. See, this is the side of it that the conservative commentators won't even imagine happening. Now we got him on record saying we shoot black people. Then he's in a situation where he shot a black person. See, it's horrible. So you don't joke like that. It's not funny. It's not funny. Shooting anybody. Like, you know what I'm saying? But it's not funny. So anyway, yeah. But anyway, I missed the Bernie interview, and I want to check up the Bernie interview. Facebook in the house. Facebook. Where you at, Facebook? Marsha says, Tim, what are your thoughts? What are your thoughts about Antifa? Marsha. It's always Marsha. I know you probably only heard that joke about 800 times, right, Marsha? I'm going to talk to an Antifa person, okay? All organizations, I don't care what the organization is. That's why I don't belong to any. I may still belong to Toastmasters, right? Was that a lifetime membership? I don't know, probably not. Okay, I belong to one computer organization and Toastmasters. All organizations are going to leave a bad taste in your mouth if you look deep enough. Somebody in the organization doing something you don't agree with. Antifa, I'm still there. I have to imagine there's some people in it who mean well. Okay. I need to talk to people within the organization. Same thing with Black Lives Matter. Like Black Lives Matter, there's some stuff like I don't think the whole pigs in the blanket or whatever, pigs in the coffin like that, like I don't agree with that at all, right? So I hold them accountable, I hold Antifa accountable, I hold all organizations accountable. But my thing is I have never had a conversation with anybody from Black Lives Matter at all, or Antifa. All I get is what's distilled down from mainstream media and what some footage people grab. So, yeah, my verdict is still out on it. But I was just talking to Momo Pineno, and we're setting up an interview with someone who has a level of participation with the organization where we can have a conversation and dialogue about it. But yeah, that's where I stand on it. You know, jury's still out, and I'm not. I think I need more information. I'm going to get some, and I've been working on it. And we've been trying to set this up for about a week. So we're going to continue to work on that, okay? So I hope that answers your question. Yeah? YouTube, in the house. Darren says, would you go see Tosi in Hawaii and Bernie in Vermont if we crowdfund? Dude, Darren, I know you didn't just ask me that question, man. Of course I go see him. Or I just catch him when they're in D.C. That's one of the beauties about being here. Like I'm in like 3 or 4 events over the next couple of months, next 3 months or so, and I don't have to travel because it's in DC. So that's the beauty of this thing right here behind me, is that I'm 20, 30 minutes from DC right now. All right? So that's beautiful. I can just get in the car, go to DC, cover stuff, and it's going to really help TBTV grow and do a lot more stuff. So, yeah, I don't need to go see them. I would love to go to Hawaii. Don't get me wrong. I would love to. I would love to go to Vermont. But I don't have to meet them. I can meet them in DC if I can arrange an interview or sit down or 20 minutes or 30 minutes with them. So, yeah, give it up for that, Darren. I appreciate it. Feel me? If you live near the nation's capital, you got to make that work for you. No excuse. Got to try to make that work for you. Mark Alf says, Brother Tim, a lot of people made your acquaintance through their support of Bernie Sanders. Now a few of them have moved on to supporting Trump, but they still follow you. Ain't that a trip? No, it's not a trip. No, it's not. Mark, man. People hate establishment politics. The only people that like establishment politicians, right, are people who don't understand establishment politics. Are the people consuming mainstream media and don't even know they're being lied to. Don't even know that facts are being omitted, that they're being slanted, given half stories. Like those are the only people that consume that stuff. So I'm not surprised at all that there would be people who were Bernie supporters who then, once the Democrats threw Bernie under the bus, once the Democrats pushed Hillary through the doors of acceptability for the Democratic Party, once the Democrats didn't stand behind single payer, didn't stand behind $15 minimum wage, didn't stand behind get rid of TPP, like these things that we were all so serious about, I'm not surprised that some people said, you know what, I'm going with Trump. And then we had people like Neera Tandons and Joy Reids saying, we don't need you anyway, progressives. We good. And then when they lost, they blamed the people that they told get away. The same people you said you didn't need and get out your face are the same people you're blaming now that you lost. It doesn't make sense. It's crazy that people would do that. But I'm not surprised that they're Trump supporters, man. This country's always been Republican and Democrat and Green. It's going to continue to be so. They don't see Trump as the establishment. Give it up for that question. Good question. Wow. Stephanie says, you ever get tired of being right or your followers sucking up to you? Sucking up? Steph, first of all, what's up, Steph? What's up, sis? Nah, man, like, I don't think people suck up to me at all. I think we just happen to see eye to eye, and sometimes when we don't see eye to eye, I think some people think, okay, Tim's not a lying ass, He doesn't lie, he doesn't, even when they disagree with me, I think people feel like they give me the benefit of the doubt because they know, first of all, when I'm wrong, I'll admit I'm wrong. I don't have no big ego like that. Like I can't admit when I'm wrong. It shouldn't be like you got to lift a bunch of weights, okay, I'm wrong. Like you gotta, like it's that hard to do, like you gotta pass life through your body to admit that you made a mistake. It shouldn't take all that. But I don't think people I don't feel like people suck up to me at all. I feel like people just want honesty. And that's how I started doing this, and I'm going to keep doing it. Get tired of being right? Hell no. Who gets tired of being right? But I get your point though. Do I get tired of things being bad? Yeah. Yeah, Steph. I get tired of things. I get tired of people lying to me. All right? I get tired of them perpetuating false narratives. I get tired of that. Yeah, I do. Like, I get tired of people saying, I get tired of Russia. And by the way, anybody want my Russia.com domain? Email me at tim@timblackTV.com. Give it up for that. You know what I mean? Oh, man. Beep, 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 beep. What? I don't know what that means. Goodness gracious. Okay. Steve says, my city council voted today to change Columbus Day to Indigenous Peoples Day. I like that. Give it up for that. Yeah. Yeah. Right. Damn right. I support that. All day. Why would you not support it? Like, Columbus Day is horrible on so many levels. That's a perfect example, Stephen. Spot on example, man, of what I'm talking about with the monuments. Like Columbus Day, for instance, we celebrate this guy basically leading to the genocide of all these people. And not to mention, he didn't really discover something. There are people on it. Like, we have so many reasons to change the name of that. But you can still keep it in the history book. You still keep it in the story, but put the other story. And if we're going to celebrate something, how about celebrating the resilience of these people? But see, it's propaganda, man. It's brand and marketing for this country to itself. Because do you think, this is what I believe, guys. I believe you wouldn't have so many people volunteering for the military if they knew the true history of this country. And a lot of the problems that we have in America, we wouldn't have if people were more aware, and them knowing their history, truly their history, is horrible or is great or is good, whatever, that would change how people felt about the country, and it would change what they did. And one of the things I think they would stop doing is a lot of young guys, man, and a lot of young women would stop joining the military and putting their lives on the line with a country with a track record of doing some of the stuff we've done. That's what I believe. And they can't. So an anti-war movement is the most dangerous movement in America. It's not Black Lives Matter. Why you think Black Lives Matter has been able to keep going? That ain't nothing. They've always allowed black folks to go, we tired of being oppressed. We tired of being oppressed. Please don't oppress us. That's so old. That's nothing. The anti-war movement? Oh. Or a movement to unite poor people? Oh. Oh, man. Now you're talking about something, and they don't want that to happen at all. Right? So, yeah, that's where I come up on that, man. Great question. Great question. Great suggestion. And thank you for letting me know what's going on in your area regarding Columbus Day. Oh, you too. The District of Corruption. Give it up for Julie Love with the District of Corruption. I like that. I'm going to use that. It's good. The District of Corruption. Yeah. There goes the District of Corruption. Oh, Sandra Lee. She says, Tim, will you interview Lionel sometime soon? Man, give it up for Sandra Lee. Sandra Lee says, interview Lionel of Lionel Nation. Yeah, hell yeah. Yes, I would interview him. In fact, I need to get on the ball with setting up some interviews. It's just I've run out of time to do stuff. You know what? This is the hard thing about setting up interviews. Let me tell you something, Sandra. Because I'm verified on Twitter, when I ask people, I think it helps them. It increases the likelihood that they'll come on the show. Problem is, I don't always have the time to ask people, or they're not following me already, so I can't even DM them. And then when I had other people, like back in the day, I had George. Some of you guys may be around. I had George used to help me do scheduling. He would get no's, and then I'd come behind him sometimes and I would get a yes because he had a regular account, and people were like, who's this guy? Who's this guy asking me to come on his show? But so sometimes I have to do the asking, and I need to have the time, and I need to make the connections. But yeah, back to your point, man. Lionel Nation, yeah, I would bring him on. Obviously, we don't agree on everything. We can have a great conversation on the points that we disagree on and that we agree on. Yeah, I'd like to have him on the show. Give it up for that question. Another great question.
Look, man, I ain't falling for no banana in my tailpipe.
Facebook in the house. Wow. Wow. Lot of talking. I want to give respect and kind of bounce back and forth. Hey, how did you meet Jimmy Dore? Nick says, how did I meet Jimmy Dore? How did I meet Jimmy Dore? I met Jimmy Dore in Philly at the DNC convention. Right? So I'm out. Look, I'm at the DNC convention and I'm hanging out. Who was I with? I think I was with Debbie. Then we were like all shooting videos. So, okay. Or was I with Jill Stein? I think I was with Jill Stein. Look, anyway, I ran into Jimmy, just bumped into him in Philly, and we shot a little video. If you go to his channel, you'll see an old video where he interviewed me on the streets at the convention. That's where I met Jimmy. And then I met him again in Chicago, and we talked again there. And then like and like I can text him. He has my number. I have his number. And sometimes we text. Like I'm a text guy for the most part. So he's text me, I've text him, and he's really cool, man. And that last appearance, like I had him on my show, and was it something we wanted to do like months ago? Wanted to have him on the show. We couldn't line up schedules. And there's like a lot of drama. Then he came on the show, and then a couple months later, a month later, I asked him, could I come on? I think I hit him up like, yo, Jimmy, can I come on your show? He's like, yeah, man. Because I think I had like Ron on my show. So I had Ron on my show. I had JF O'Donnell, Lee Camp, Jimmy Dore. And like, these are all really, really, really cool people in real life. And only person I haven't met yet is Ron in real life. But I've met JF, had beer with him. He's a really funny guy. He's funny, like in person too. Lee's funny in person and down to earth, and I've hung out with Lee a few times. So, yeah. So thank you for the question. You know what I'm saying? I appreciate it. A-Reen says, whatever happened to the special thing at 100 subscribers? You know what, man? My 100 subscriber celebration was derailed by drama. And that's what happened to it, A. That's what happened. It got derailed by drama. And it kind of got away from me. And I kind of just plumb out forgot to enjoy it. And that's crazy. You were right, A, because I worked a long time to get to that point. And now it's just, I don't even think, with all the stuff going on with YouTube, I don't even think about numbers. I don't even think about like how many subscribers I have. I don't think about how many subscribers anybody else has. I just don't think about it. I root for like Nico, who's like, if I give it up for Nico House, I root for Nico. Because I remember when I had 5,000 subscribers and I was trying to build a brand and, but man, I don't think about it. But I would like to do cool stuff like this or something better, like we can have a chat or something, It doesn't have to have anything to do with my channel as far as I'm celebrating something, Just do it. Let's just do it. In fact, anybody has suggestions, send them to me at tim@timblacktv.com. Because I'm down for doing more stuff like this. And actually, this is easier than just reading something and kind of giving a commentary on it or whatever. This is actually more fun. This is actually like just hanging out. And I like to do this in person. Like I would like to come to your city and do this. And in fact, I'm thinking about doing some stand-up stuff. I'm serious. I'm thinking about doing so like I got some material I've been writing. So we'll see if I can do some stand-up stuff. And political humor is something I'm kind of into now. It's like my space. So, but thank you so much for the question, AE. Yeah. And it's something different, man. Like I don't fit the mold to do political humor. So I think it would be funny. Like, I think people would be like, what? This guy doing, this, big black bald head guy doing political humor? Okay. All right. And they'll probably be surprised. But, I'm going to keep it down to earth. It's not going to be like, it's going to be down to earth from a perspective of just a regular guy's perspective. And with some facts all over it and make it funny. So. Nicholas says, come to Baton Rouge, man. I would. Okay. They don't pay enough for your life, not worth it. What are you doing to promote action? What am I doing to promote actionable change? I thought this was promoting actionable change. Barbara Waring says, what am I doing to promote actual change? Actionable change. I thought that's what we're doing. You don't think that you actually, hold on. You don't believe talking about discussing and making people aware of issues that they would never hear on mainstream media. You don't think that's actionable change? If people don't know what's going on, what can they do? What can people do? We have activists. We need media. We need media to cover activists. Like, a lot of people had this twisted. And I want, look, to me, in my heart of hearts, one of the major problems that we have in this country is that we do not have a media that's standing up and speaking out for the people. It's the media's job to expose corruption. It's the media's job to make people aware. It's the media's job to put the messages out. That's media's job. It's not Bernie Sanders' job. It's not Nina Turner's job. It's not Tulsi Gabbard's job. That's media's job to spread awareness. There are great people all over this country doing magnificent things, fantastic things, earth-shattering, life-changing, life-affirming things every day. They get no publicity. Media is important. Where do you think all the ideas, all the negative, sewage, toxic, sewer, gutter thoughts people have in their head come from? Media. Media. Media is so important. I have a problem when people don't see how important media is. They think me leading a march in the street is more important than me doing a show giving millions of people information. Millions. I reach millions of people every month. Some people, everyone does their part. Everyone does their part. Okay? Let's flip that around. What's your actionable change? And whatever it is, good for you. Good for you. I applied your actionable change. Whatever it is, good for you. Whatever you're doing, actionable. Not being a blood-sucking corporatist who would rather devote his time, his energy, his resources, and his life to spreading awareness on important issues is action. I don't know if that qualifies as actionable enough for you, but for me, I sleep just fine. And I'm going to keep doing it. All right? All right. Give it up for that. Jesus Christ. Oh, I got upset. I'm not supposed to get upset. I'm supposed to be light. I'm supposed to be light. Jamie Foxx says never read comment sections. But I do sometimes, and sometimes I don't, because it gets crazy. Meanwhile, one thing that really ticks me off, there will be people who have jobs at corporations that do horrible things. Horrible, disgusting, shitty things. Disgusting, life-destroying, earth-destroying, people robbing things. these corporations. And they'll justify, they'll say, well, I'm just getting a paycheck. I got to work somewhere. But then those same people who have a day job that is horrific, that destroys the environment or kills animals or, locks up people or, robs constitutional rights or, bombs countries. All these people will have these jobs, will make it okay in their head to do that job. Those same people will complain to me about something in my job. And it'll be over a little thing like, well, you said this and it really should have said this. It was kind of right, but you should have. And I'm like, well, dude, what do you do for a living? You know, are you still, putting puppies to sleep? Like, are you still putting high fructose in food? Like, what do you do for a living? Really, what do you do? What do you do for money? So, there are some people who don't see that. Like, the correlation between what they do, they just see what other people do. And they say, you're not doing enough or whatever. And meanwhile, they say, well, I have to, and so like that whole thing. So sometimes that bothers me, as you can see. Sometimes that bothers me because what I do does not, it doesn't negatively impact the world. It just doesn't. In my view, it doesn't negatively impact the world. In fact, I think it does the opposite. So I encourage everyone to do their part, whatever your part is, whatever it is. I know we live in a horrible society. Our system sucks. People have to take jobs doing things they don't like. People have to do things on their jobs they may not ethically agree with. People's corporations do things that you don't agree with, and you have to, you feel like I have to be employed. Let's have more consideration for one another in this system that sucks. And I believe, and that's why sometimes people get upset with me, because I tend to look at some of our politicians and I recognize that in them. Like, if you work at Walmart or if you work at Amazon, the actual result of those companies are horrendous on the rest of the country. Heck, the rest of the world. If you are a Democrat in a very blue state and you didn't throw Hillary under the bus because you didn't want to lose your job, I don't automatically throw you out with the bathwater. You know what I'm saying? But it's about, what are you going to do going forward? What will you do going forward? So I'm more reasonable in certain ways, but you got to demand no money in politics. You got to want to get rid of money in politics. You got to stand for single payer. You got to want to end mass incarceration. Like, I have a few things that, hey, you just got to be down with, or there's nothing to talk about, at least from a supportive standpoint. We can still have a conversation, but if you want support, now you ain't going to get that unless there's certain criteria. But it's not like 20 things. It's like 3 things, Get money out of politics. Want people to have health coverage and stop locking people up for a little bit of weed. How about that, guys? How about that? It's not a lot of things. It's a little bit of things. It's not a lot of things. All right. YouTube in the house. Wow. Brian says, Tim, Malcolm X or MLK, who would you relate with more? Man, that's tough. I think the people who don't like Malcolm X don't know Malcolm X. All right? That's what I believe. It's not the 2-hour movie that Spike Lee put out. All right? Like, one of his statements was, I fight for truth no matter who's telling it. I fight for justice no matter who it's for or who it's against. You know what I mean? And like, that to me is that's how I want to be. That's what I'm about. But then, of course, there are things about MLK, particularly as he led up to what got him killed, that I admire so much, man. How could you take anything away from either one of these men when they gave their lives for what they believed in? I don't think there's any. I don't think there's a way you could, man. We got people who won't give up a parking space. They kill you over a parking space. You know. It's what it is, man. All right. Okay. Yeah, bip. Yeah, I agree with you. Kate says that Malcolm X words were brilliant. They were. Kate. Oh, gosh. Laura says, Tim, you speaking brings a collective consciousness together, and that will lead us to move as a group, which can be powerful. It can be powerful. It can be. You know? I'm just using what I have. Other people have other stuff, you know? Look, there's nothing I'm doing on my own. Like, I don't believe you get anything big done alone. That's just reality. You just can't. You know, that's part of why the YouTube demonetization thing sucks, is because in order for me to grow, I have to be able to give people money. You know what I'm saying? Because you can't get things done alone. You know, you just can't. You can't get big things done alone. All right? You know, you have to be able to pay people to do stuff, at least so they can survive. So, you know, Momo Pinedo's been working with me for about a year and a half, maybe 2 years. I don't even know how long it's been. We've been doing business and working together for a long time, you know. That's why, please go buy a T-shirt or a mug. Don't forget I have mugs too, guys. All right? And you can put any design on a mug too, any of them, whether it be Wolfpack or whatever. You can put any design you want on a mug. That's the hardest part, is I realize that it's just so much I can do alone. That's why networking is so important. That's why working with people. That's why people who offer to do things are so important. I'm still kind of waiting on some stuff for the website. Had someone who contacted me, and you know, hey, they haven't got back to me, but we hope that they will. It's what it is. But yeah, bringing people together it's amazing. There's some great people. There's some people out there, guys. I don't want to preach. I'm just saying that there's some great people out there. There's some not so great people, but there's some great people out there. And just know that everybody, there's a lot of support out there. Take your leap, do your thing, throw caution to the wind a little bit. There'll be good people there. If you're good people and if you're doing your best, people kind of pick up on it. Yeah, they kind of pick up on it. Yeah. Yeah. Damn. Sergeant Hayes says, I have friends about to do 3 to 5 for weed charges. God, man. That damn system just keeps on spit. Look, they need the best representation. They just sell everything in their home. I don't care what they own. Sell it all. Get the best lawyer you can get. Seriously, get the best lawyer you can get. It's worth it. It's totally worth it to get the best lawyer you can afford to get. Tell your friends that's what Tim Black says. It's that important. That public defender stuff, that's not going to cut it. They are warehousing people. It's that important. I don't care if you got a nice watch, you should not have a nice watch if you have a trial coming up. That watch should be sold, and you should get the best lawyer money can buy. The best lawyer you can afford. Get it. Get it. I've seen people who I thought were going to jail. They didn't go to jail only because they had a good lawyer. I know a guy who worked a part-time job just to pay his lawyer, and he did not go to jail. I know guys with less charges who got public defenders who ended up going to jail or ended up with records. I'm just saying. Come on, guys.
Look, man, I ain't falling for no banana in my tailpipe.
Real talk, real talk. Oh, gosh. All this was just to promote their friend. It's crazy. I should not have given them any attention. That's all it was. All it was. I'm going to keep promoting my friend. I'm going to keep promoting my friend. You know, Ginger Liberty. Stop, Ginger. Ginger Liberty, you so great. I appreciate you, Ginger. Always nice things to say. You know, always nice things to say. Those people need to wake the hell up. I love it, man. Oh, Joseph asked me a great question. He said, Tim, what was your favorite memory as a child? Oh, man, that's fun. Now, we get to the fun stuff, man.
Do you understand the words that are coming out of my mouth?
Yeah, I understand, man. What was my fondest memory as a child, man? Gosh. As a child. Fondest. Okay, let me just pick something. Hell. Okay. I remember it was me, my sister, my other brother, my cousin, my other brother Larry, my nephew Lennon, and my little nephew, and my sister-in-law. And no. It was me, my sister, my little brother. It was a bad storm. Bad storm, right? We were living in Maryland. We were in a basement because my mom hates storms, and she's very superstitious, right? So, like you can't touch the phone when it's lightning outside. My mom believed the lightning would come through the phone and get you. So my mom, she probably still believes that to this day. So, and I'm sure my dad was there. My stepdad was there. And so we're all in the basement, right? And there's a storm going on. And we were just there talking and just laughing. Just for like a couple hours. Because the lights were out, right? So we were all in the basement because I think it was a power outage. We're all in the basement. We got the candles. We're just doing it. There's nothing special about it. But it was so much fun. And we laughed and we talked about fun inside jokes that if you weren't in our family, you wouldn't have thought were funny. But they were hilarious, man. And that's what family is. And I remember when the power came on, everybody went back to their rooms. And that was sad. So yeah, that was the most fond memory I have as a kid. That's kind of deep. Can't watch TV during the storm, right? You know what I'm talking about, Nambi. You know you can't watch TV during no storm. My mom from VA, can I say it? She's from Culpeper? At least she lived in New York. She lived a lot of places. My mom lived a lot of places. But I don't know where she got that, like, stupid. Like, you cannot, don't you cut on that TV. And if you call her during the storm, she get mad at you. Don't you call my mom during no storm. Tim, it is raining out here. What are you, do you know it's storming? I click. Mad at me, pissed. Yeah. Stephanie says, what's the funniest call we ever got on the show? Gosh, man, Steph, you know we had some crazy calls. We've had some crazy calls, yo. Gosh. God, we've had some crazy calls. Oh, man. Craziest calls. God. Yo, I don't know. I don't know what's the craziest call. We used to have a lot more crazy calls than we do now. You know? Like, we used to have more. Like, Curtis been slacking. We used to get these calls. I used to get these calls that would just, somebody just yell the N-word out, you know? I was being trolled. I was being trolled repeatedly. I mean, the dedication, the sheer dedication of the trolls, oh man, if they redirected their interest to something positive, man, they could be anything. They could paint a picture like Picasso if they directed their energy. But no, their energy was directed towards me, towards being a nuisance to me. And it was like, wow, man, it was like every day. It was like, God, I got to stop taking phone calls. Like Nambi probably remembers, Mystical probably remembers. It was horrible. I do remember one of my funny moments. There was there was a sister who used to call this show. And she did not give a damn, all right? She didn't care, and she would just talk about black issues, and she would just be like, black people, we gonna die. We gonna die, we over, we through. Nobody care about you, you black, shut up. You gonna die, we gonna die. They're gonna kill us all off. And that's how she used to talk, right? It would be no sunny side to it. And there's some people right now who are kind of doing that right now. I'm kind of seeing what they're doing. I'm like, gosh, like everything is like horrible. Everything you talk about is like horrible. And I get like you want positive, but it's like, damn, like everything is horrible. The whole world is horrible. And it's like our existence is horrible. And it's all disgusting. It's horrible. And it's like every call was like that. But she called up, she said, I don't even think I could say it. I don't even want to say it live because she used the N-word and stuff, but it was so hilarious. You guys know what I'm talking about. His sister used to call up and she would just, she had a YouTube channel for a while and she was just hilarious, man. She was so funny. But she didn't care. She didn't care. She did not. She had no cut cards. You look at her cards, you're like, God, there's no cut cards in this deck. You try sodas or we try a coffee, be like, God, no sugar at all in this coffee. Like she had no softness, none. But she's amazing. Give it up for that lady if you know what I'm talking about. There you go, Sergeant Hayes. She had zero. She had zero given. She's like, uh-oh, I'm all out of fucks. Uh-oh, all my F's are gone. I don't have a F to give. And she meant it. She was hilarious. I feel bad I don't remember her name. Yeah, it was tough when I was taking calls. When I first started taking calls. Oh God. Yeah. What is one thing you would like to do in your life that you have not done yet, or where would you like to visit? Kelly Nance asked me a great question. What's something I like to do? What would I like to do? If I could do anything, what would I like to do? Gosh. You know, man, this is crazy, right? Like there were people I wanted to interview, right? That I wanted to talk to. The people I still want to interview, but I'm not as hyped about it as I used to be. You know what I'm saying? Like there was a time, like, you know, there was a time when interviewing certain people was like, that was like the pinnacle, right? But now what I want to do, right, is create this thing that lives well beyond me, right? That people can get information from that helps change their communities, where the information they get can make them have better lives and help people who believe in this thing, whatever it is, to get that information from me and feel like I help make the world better. You know what I'm saying? Like help make the world a better place through this platform that took years to build and has a reputation. It has a brand. Like that's the thing. Anyone can start anything today or tomorrow, but you got to be in it for the long run for it to stick and for people to know it and for people to trust it. So like that's the hard part, all right? So that's all I want to do is continue to grow this thing and have it outlive me and have it get bigger and bigger and bigger. So, and where would I like to go? Man, I have not been outside the country, so you just throw a rock anywhere outside the U.S. and it'll probably land on someplace that I like to go. You know what I'm saying? Oh, man. Well, look, guys, this has been thank you so much for that question, and this has been fantastic. Tomorrow, you get to call in tomorrow, and I've updated my computer for phone calls, and hopefully everything goes smooth tomorrow. You call in tomorrow and make your comments and talk about whatever you want to talk about. It's Freedom Friday. You know what time it is, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. It's your day. That's your show. I'm just a guy who tries to keep people honest on the time and tries to make sure we don't have a bunch of hate speech going on. But other than that, man, that's your show. And I love giving that platform to people, man. It makes me feel good. Some things I've done, I do just because it ain't about business. It's about making people feel good, you know? Like, if you go to my Twitter, I follow 20,000 people. 20,000. Because I used to follow everybody back, and now I had to stop following everybody back. And the only reason is, I don't get, when people tweet stuff, I can't see it because I follow so many people. That's a bad thing. But I used to follow everybody back because, I was just like, this. It's a nice thing to do. You know, you can make people feel good. Why not do it? Don't cost money to open a phone line. Well, it does cost a little. It costs $50 a month for our phone line, something like that, right? But following people back on Twitter don't cost you nothing. Why don't more people do that? Oh, okay. I want to share with you this that I thought was hilarious. In the last couple of months, 2 people have followed me that I never thought would follow me on Twitter. And I did not follow them first and nothing like that. They just follow me. And I'm like, what? The first person, look, I'm going to ask you, do you know who it is? Do you know who this person is? 2 people. Pick just 2 people you think would never follow Tim Black. Let me see if I got some suggestions. Who are 2 people you think would never follow me on Twitter? It's fun. This would be a fun game. If somebody gets it right, I will send you a t-shirt, okay? I will send you a Tim Black Wolfpack t-shirt if you get it right, okay? That's how strongly I believe no one's going to get it. Money's tight, man. So, look, but no, seriously, 2 people, okay? Obama. Nope, not Obama. Candy Star says Obama. Anybody on YouTube? Julian. Nope. You guys are pretty good, though. Ann Coulter. Nope. Joy Reid. Not Joy Reid. Bill Clinton. Nope. Hillary. Nope. Rachel Maddow. Nope. Toasty Gabbard. Nope. Neera Tanden. Nope. You guys are not going to guess it. Because it's crazy. All right? It's crazy. David Duke. I denounce and I repudiate David Duke. All right. You know what? I'm going to make it 3 people because it's so funny. This pen is ran out of... I got a pen. Okay. So I got 3 people. No one's got it yet. Tariq. Nah, man. Tariq Nasheed is a funny dude, man. He's a funny guy. Sean Hannity, nope. No one's going to get this. Debbie Wasserman, nope. Sinbad, Arnold. I can't tell you. Wolf Blitzer. Susan Sarandon already follows me. She's a friend. These are friends of the show. Seriously. Dr. Tyson, Maddow, Don Lemon, Jordan follows me. Yeah. Steve Bannon, nope. I'm just gonna give it to you. Bill Burr, dude. If Bill Burr followed me, I'd be like, Bill, you gotta come on the show. You don't have to go anywhere. You just log on your computer. I'm gonna send you a link. This thing's gonna unload, and you'll be on the show. 20 minutes, man. 20 minutes. That's all I need is 20 minutes. Make these people laugh. They need it. See, Bill Burr is one. Like a lot of politicians are afraid of this show. Not politicians. Well, some politicians, comedians are afraid of this show because they don't want to talk about politics. And I'm like, damn, man, Who doesn't have a Trump joke? You really don't have a Trump joke? Really? None? I thought that was the going thing. No Trump jokes. You are scared of politics? They are scared, yo. Like, but not people like Bill Burr. He's got, he would just be like, I'm not going to talk about that. I got no comment. And he just keep going. You know, it'd just be fun. Like if I ask him something he didn't want to talk about. But anyway, guys, all right. I'm going to give you the names, okay? Because I got to remember the three. Most unlikely person to follow Tim Black on Twitter. Number one person is Rosie O'Donnell. Right? Like, who thought that? Like, Rosie O'Donnell? That's crazy. And that's brand new. That, like, happened within the last 24 hours. Like, what does Rosie O'Donnell want with me? Did she see the video I made about her? All right. Second most unlikely person to follow Tim Black on Twitter is Donna Brazile. Donna Brazile follows me on Twitter, y'all. I was afraid, like when somebody said Debbie Wasserman Schultz, a couple of people said that. That's funny. And the last or the least likely person to follow Tim Black on Twitter is porn star Ron Jeremy. Give it up for Ron Jeremy, y'all. Yo, I was like, what? And like Ron Jeremy, I was like, what? Ron Jeremy followed me? That's crazy. And then he retweeted something just to make sure I knew he was refollowing me. I was like, what is up, man? Wow. All right. So, look, guys, in the future, just know, everything I do on this channel will not be politics. I'm more than just politics. I'm social active, social activism. I won't say social justice. I'll say social activism, activism in general. I'm concerned about environment. I'm concerned about schools. I have a son in elementary school, right? I'm concerned about, things that happen in the communities too. I love entertainment too, and I like fun shit. I like laughing. I like jokes. So everything is not going to be about Debbie Wasserman Schultz and Hillary Clinton and Donald Trump. All right? It's just not going to be. So, yes, I did watch the Mayweather fight. I did take a break and watch that. I thought it was entertaining. I think anytime you get in the ring with a professional, you are risking something. And I think both men, especially Conor McGregor, put a lot on the line, and I respect that man, but still he got it handed to him. You can hand it to him, and he got the business. So both things. So anyway, that's it, guys. I appreciate you all, man, for tuning into this crazy show of just answering questions, man. It's different. I just thought it was something different to do. And shout out to Momo Pineno for the suggestion. I think it was a great idea, bro. You helped me get through a kind of like didn't know where to go, and this was perfect, man. Shout out to the Broken Carpenter. Glad to hear you're doing well. Shout out to everybody who supports this channel. Support independent media. It's all we got. I think it's so important. Some people think other things are more important. I just don't. Because you can have the best idea in the world. You can come up with the cure for cancer. You can come up with an action plan that's amazing. You can come up with a new monetary theory. But if no one helps you promote that theory, that they cannot break through the bubble. See, it's not that we don't have great ideas. It's not that we don't have smart people. It's not that we don't have people fighting a good fight. It's not that we don't have solutions. It's that we can't get our solutions through the mainstream media bubble. Then there are great people doing great things who are great about great things. We have amazing people who get no coverage. I just want people to know that media is where it's at. That's why I believe it. And all the people that I've known who've had stupid ideas, who believe stupid things about me because of my color, or believe stupid things about other people because of their color, or their gender, or their orientation or their religion or whatever, or they lived in this area or they lived in this state, they lived up south or up north, or all these thoughts, guess where they got them from? Besides their parents. Media. That's why I fight this fight. Thank you for being here. Thank you for being part of the show. I see you tomorrow. Call up. Call up and say your piece. It's your time tomorrow. I appreciate you. I see you on the next one. Shout out to everybody. Periscope, Facebook, YouTube, for being here. I love you guys. Thank you for making me relevant. You don't make yourself relevant. People make you relevant. You don't make yourself known. People do that. You did that. You did that. Not me. All right, guys, I'm out. I'll see you on the next one. Peace.
Tim Black. Tim Black. Tim Black. Yes, I am.
Take a knife to the back.
True. Funny. Tim Black. I am TimBlack.com. Tim Black.
So take a knife to the back guy. Hold on. The last time you're gonna see a bad guy like this again. Let me tell you.
This show is brought to you by TimBlackTV.com. Go to the link description box below and find a link to go get a t-shirt or a mug, or go to Patreon, Tim's Take Live, become a monthly contributor to the show. I appreciate you. I got nothing but love for you. Human Like You is the t-shirt of the week. Human Like You, but we got a whole bunch of other t-shirts. Move Neoliberal, Get Out the Way is one of my funniest t-shirts. Thank you, Momo Pineno, for the designs. Thank you for just coming up with crazy stuff and letting the people decide what they want. Racist people suck, they do, and so do closed-minded people as well. Guys, thank you so much. I'll see you on the next one. Support it. Yeah.